when I decided to start streaming. And that is, I would like to play through the entire Silent Hill series. Or at least as best as I can. I'm not bringing the arcade cabinet up here. That would be a little bit too much, you know? But where I can, I would like to play the games and show them off. Hello, Soup! How are you? I tried the hype cat, as you can see in the chat log there. It just wanders off the screen. But, you know, it shows up quite nicely on the emote wall. I like it. And you are just in the nick of time, I guess you would say, because I'm about to push this button and then go over to my screen overlay. Just while we wait for the game to boot. That's all. Alright, we should be okay now. Are you gonna do it? Let's pray to the gods of 20-year-old electronics. Please work. Now, when I was doing Let's Plays with my friends, we had this running joke where anytime the PS1 noise would play, I would sigh happily, boo! And nobody cottoned on that I was doing that. But, you know, it made me kind of happy. Oh, I love this music so much! It has been so long since I have played this game, but I love it so much! I mentioned it briefly in another game, actually. My mom really likes this piece of music. Like, she believes it to be from the Twilight soundtrack, and I've assured her that it isn't. But, hey, I'm not gonna complain, because she really likes the intro to Silent Hill 1. I'll take it. Jaded Mew, you make a good point, I would say, because a lot of Akira Yamaoka's music he's got like 3 chords, that guy. You can usually pick out his music, and this doesn't sound like any of them. But on that, this part of the game or this part of the series, I should say, it's still finding its footing, and the soundtrack to this one doesn't sound like any other Silent Hill soundtrack. Because this one, I'm getting quite a ways ahead of myself, but there's a lot of, like, furious machine noise on the soundtrack to this game, whereas the other ones take more of a hip-hop or a lo-fi sound, depending on the game. That was a shot from the trailer, don't you know? Although I say that, most of this stuff does not happen in the game. Now as I come to think about it. But it's important, actually, because this is the plot to the game, or at least the setup to the game. And the game does not give it to us. The game also does not give this to us. There's no temple in the game. What's that about? And then that house doesn't come into play until the prequel. And there we go. That's your intro. I agree. It is a cat jam. Thank you for your cat jams. So, as with most things, I kept my save file from when I'm a teenager, so we can actually load that. And we will load that. But there is a bit of, I guess, prequel that a loaded New Game Plus skips. So we're going to hit start, and I'm just going to show off, like, the intro chapter, I guess, and then we're going to go back to my save file. Silent Hill. That was a lie. I did that. But it was the era of games doing that, so it would not be entirely out of character. Elana Ray, I'm surprised how many save files I still have that I kept. Like, I did a run of Jade Cocoon on my channel on YouTube, where it's like, oh hey, there's a versus mode. I can still load up my monsters from when I was a teenager and see how they do against my Let's Play team. Let's go. So as we make a start, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to give props and a shout out to the Twitch user Ropesnake, because he hooked me up with the specific like console capture device that he uses. Where are my options? I need options. I need to turn off tank controls. He hooked me up with the capture device that he uses for component cables, and look at how good this game looks. Asterisk for a 20-something-year-old PlayStation game. Just gonna turn that up, don't mind me. There does not appear to be a no tank controls button. Well, you'd best get ready for true horror by Crikey, because I can't do tank controls. So actually, it's just it's an upscaler. It's a little USB-powered upscaler. You plug in SCART cables on one side, HDMI cable on the other, and then this falls out. I've had a little bit of trouble
Cheryl?
getting...
Is that Cheryl?
Like, American games to work. Initially, I wanted to begin with Symphony of the Night. Cannot get it to capture properly on this ancient
Where are you
TV.
going? Hey, wait! Stop!
But, the games that it will capture, look at this. Alright, that's the run button. Cool. So, fun thing, there is a glitch in some versions of the game where I think if you pause the game or if you go to the options menu, you can skip these event flags, which means that you're free to just walk up to Cheryl and, like, technically you win the game. She wandered off, you found her. Good job. Oh, that sound effect. Ah! I'm so nostalgic. This is not a good start. This next room is a good start. Right, Soup, you want to say the capture device I'm using is magic? This is magic. Check this out. 1999's me is having his mind blown right now because the camera's moving and it's going up and down. Look at that dynamic panning. It was so good they put it in the movie. And then I saw it in the movie and I pointed like Leonardo DiCaprio like, oh, it's a thing! So you can hear those air raid sirens going off in the background, I'm guessing. They always sound terrifying. Like, not even because of what they signify, they are just an inherently terrifying sound. And I say this because my town has active air raid sirens still. And usually when there's, like, some major event or some period of mourning, they will sound the air raid sirens and just... Nope, not a fan of that. Incidentally, that introductory screen was not messing around. There are violent, disturbing images in this game, and it doesn't mess around with them. You get right in there.
What is this? What's going
this
on
is a word
here?
used to discuss the word, idea, or thing being discussed. And we're being attacked immediately. That was not a good thing to do. That's what I get for being sarcastic. So that is the introduction to this game proper, and it kind of encapsulates the series as a whole. Like, that's what you're in for Silent Hill. Just non-Euclidean geometry and spooky monsters and, like, rust and stuff. Wild. Anyway, I'm going to reset the game just now, and here's why. I was going to do it again. I decided not to do it again. Next fear is the New Game Plus. So this is a completed save file on, I believe, normal difficulty. So, let's see. You'll notice a few differences as we go through the game, mainly because I'll point them out. But this is where you begin as a New Game Plus. And it ties into one of the ideas that the game toys with, that Harry's just going to keep doing this forever. He's just going to keep waking up in the diner no matter what happens.
Was I dreaming?
How do you feel?
Oh, like I've been run over by a truck. But I'm alright, I guess.
I was wondering, is this
Glad
better
to
or
hear it.
worse than me voicing all the dialogue with my one
You
voice
from around here?
till I get my
Why don't you
confidence
tell
to
me
do all
what
of them?
happened?
Wait a second, I'm just a tourist. I came here for a vacation. I just got here.
It does have a certain jank
I
charm
don't know
to it,
what happened.
and I kind of feel like the Silent Hill games are really good.
I'd like to find out myself.
They're really good for what they are. In particular, 2 has a couple of odd line reads, but they're supposed to, in that instance.
Have you seen a little girl?
Get ready for the line.
Just turned 7 last month. Short, black hair.
Get used to that.
My daughter.
Sorry. The only person I've seen in this town is you.
Where is everybody?
I'd tell you if I knew, believe me. But from what I can tell, something bizarre's going on. That's all I know.
I mean, for starters, it is snowing, and I believe it's June in-game? It's the summertime, at
What's
the very
your
least.
name?
Harry. Harry Mason.
Sybil Bennett. I'm a police officer from Brams, the next town over. The phones are all dead, and the radio too. I'm going back to call in some reinforcements. Hold it. Where do you think you're going?
My daughter. I've got to find her.
No way. It's dangerous out there.
In that case, I need to find her now. Cheryl's my little girl. I can't just leave her out there by herself.
Have you got a gun?
I feel like she's on board
no.
with this fairly quickly, and that escalated fairly quickly.
Take this, and hope you don't have to use it.
I'm fairly sure that's not how any of this works.
Now listen to me. Before you pull the trigger, know who you're shooting. And don't do it unless you have to. And don't go blasting me by mistake. Got it?
Yeah, thanks.
You do best to stay nearby. I'll be back with help as quick as I can.
Alright, so we're back in the game. Hi. Still tank controls. Right. I am going to take the initiative, and I'm going to equip the gun that I was given. Let's pull out my gun. Which one is... that one. That's the ready weapon button. Okay. I don't know why I decided to test that. There's no reason we're going to need that in the immediate future. So fun thing, in the I didn't see anything. Did you see anything? There was nothing. Nothing in the background right there. It's like in the demo version of the game, this part of Silent Hill was called Wrightwood. Just a bit of trivia for you. But here it's just called like Old Silent Hill, like the residential district.
What's that? Huh. Radio. What's going on with that radio?
I knew that line was coming, and it still makes me smile. It's like one of those... It's a Jill Sandwich kind of line, where you know it's coming, but it's... Oh, goodness! Alright, get out of here, The Mist by Stephen King. No one wants you.
This is not a dream. What's happening to this place?
I'm gonna take that radio. So I think most people are at least somewhat aware of how the Silent Hill series works, and like this one in particular. But the radio emits static when monsters are nearby, and it's a way of letting you know how close the monsters are, but it also lets them know where you are. You can turn it off, which provides a bit of protection, but at least on this difficulty, I don't think we're really going to need it. We should be fine. I haven't played this game for a while. I could be grossly overstating my confidence, but you know. Oh, it's my sexy wife. How are you doing? I'm glad to see you made it home okay. This is one way of letting me know that you are back and safe. I'm glad. Okay. Now, astute viewers may have noticed when I checked my inventory, I have no health. I have 2 weapons in my inventory. I have the gun, and I have the Hyper Blaster. Hello, Wright. How are you? Please do come in, have a seat. So, the Hyper Blaster, which this version of it is a kind of bizarre mechanic that I don't think I've seen before. Yes, you see, Mew spotted it. Use okay. Let's equip it. So, if we hit the ready weapon button... Actually, can we hear this? Nothing. So the way to get this weapon is to have a Konami Hyper Blaster plugged into slot 2 of the console, which I do, and I have one. It is now here in my right hand, and yeah, the way to do it is to point it at the screen and turn it on, and then you physically pull the trigger on the gun. Actually, can we catch that? And then I am physically shooting this gun right now and turning it off. And that is absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know why they programmed it in. It is possible to get the Hyper Blaster as an actual weapon. You have to get the UFO ending. And then it puts it in your inventory. And the damage scales depending on how well you did in the game. So like 0 to 100% depending on like damage taken and items found and enemies killed, that sort of thing. The one that I have here is, I believe, the least powerful. And... well... Alright, where are you? There you are. So thankfully, like, Harry will auto-aim this one. Like, if he can see the enemy, he will just shoot it with the Hyper Blaster, but it doesn't seem to be working out too well, because if they go out of the draw distance, they just cease to exist, I guess. I think I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to go back to the regular gun, and I'm going to run away. Is this the road I need? Or is it the next one? I think it's the next one. Oh no, this is the one. Incidentally, that gun is an anachronism. Shouldn't exist at this point in the game. Because, like, it's intentionally unclear when in time this game takes place. Or all the Silent Hill games, really. They take place relative to one another. So, like, Silent Hill 0 takes place 7 years before this game. And then Silent Hill 2 takes place 10 years after this one. There you go. Now we're safe. At least from that one. But it doesn't actually say when, like, chronologically the games take place. And there is a very good bit of game design behind that. It's monsters. It kind of helps to stop the game from becoming dated, because, like, if everything is outdated when it comes out, it will never become outdated. I'm going to run from this one. I'm going to forget that those monsters are there, and they're going to get me on the way back out. Just you watch. But if you pay attention to, like, all of the notes across every game, like every game in the series, you can actually work out when each game takes place. And this game takes place in 1988, according to basically conspiracy boards, which may or may not have been made by me. But the gun that we have is a very specific gun. It's a Smith & Wesson Sigma, which came out in 1994. So it shouldn't exist right now. And basically everything else in the game makes sense, except for that. And now you know.
Isn't this Cheryl's sketchbook? She's at the school.
So one of the ideas that, mainly when the game came out, less so now, one of the ideas floating around is, as I mentioned, Harry's stuck in a time loop. He's always going to do whatever he does in Silent Hill, wake up in the diner, and go do it again. And one of the ideas that people were floating is that all of these notes are left by him. So, like, the first time he went through Silent Hill, he didn't know where to go, so he wrote himself a note saying, "Go to the school." And later on, we'll see more notes that are just randomly saying, "Hey, go here, that's the next point of progression." And I think that's pretty cool. Killer 7 is a really good example of an old, weird Japanese game. Right, where am I going? I know where I'm going. It's a very good game as well, and I like a lot of what it does, like, in terms of thematics and gameplay. There we go! Well remembered me. There you go. Should be okay for now. I really like the look of it as well. I just like anything that has aggressive cell shading. Can I get that? I don't think I can. That guy's gonna get up again. I think that was just how survival horror games did stuff at this point. In this game, and I believe Resident Evil 1, but I haven't played that one, or like the classic run of Resident Evil games, you can shoot the enemies to knock them down, but they will always get back up. Pretty much always get back up, unless you do the finishing move, like take them down with that extra shot, or... In this game, at least, what we have so far, the only melee is we have a kitchen knife and a steel pipe that we found. They're not super great. Like, there's not a great deal of range or power behind it, but it's better than nothing, especially if you don't have any bullets. or if you're using the silly plastic laser gun, which incidentally is lurid green. I don't know why they chose that as the color for their light gun accessory, but there it is. Now then, there is something. There's going to be a monster down here, isn't there? I don't know if anyone's listening with headphones, but I've got like proper stereo, so I can tell you exactly where those monsters are, like positionally. That's pretty cool. Never done that before. I think this is where the thing is. Oh, hello. Man, that guy was just out for a walk. I interrupted him. Like, I'm the monster in this instance. Yeah, this is it. This is the car that we were driving. And this is where we landed when we careered off the road. Alright, that's it. And we get a free health drink for checking that out. Oh, Wales, hello. I appreciate you checking in to say hello. I will check in with you a little more in depth when I'm done, and I hope you have a good day. As I open the stream, at least as good a day as any of us can have for it being a Monday. So, the very first New Game Plus thing is... And that guy was having dinner. The first monster was out for a walk. This guy was having dinner. I'm the worst. The first bit of New Game Plus thing is in the convenience store over here. Also, hello, Caitlin. I'm glad you're home. Also, safely. It's a very bizarre way of phrasing that. Mew, this game has so many, like, generic brand actual things. I think at one point we go to, like, a FedEx, like, mail company. I'm sure that's one of these games. Possibly this one. Now, I'm fairly confident that I need to find something in this building. And we can find it, given that it is New Game Plus. Is that it? I think that's it. Yes, it is. A channeling stone. So this is one of the things that will only appear in the game on New Game Plus. And now we have it. And if you have played World of Horror, you may sort of light up at the idea of what we've just picked up. Because that game fairly explicitly takes notes from this one in what to do with the channeling stone. But I will explain that when we get to it, and for now, let's go to school. This is the worst vacation ever. I don't want to go to school. So. So this was my first exposure to, like, American game? Like, American city planning. And I'm like, surely the roads cannot be this big. Surely this is, like, video game nonsense. But no, actually, depending on where you go, this is about right for the width of a road. As opposed to England, where it's just... I'm pretty sure the room I am in right now is bigger than the average road in England. Empirical Woodland, that is absolutely fine. Please take care of yourself. Have a lie down. We'll catch up soon. I hope you feel better. Gonna be honest, the camera work in this game is not really gonna help with nausea. It's kind of deliberately... That was cheap. It's deliberately disorienting at times. that gonna come back? No. Should be okay. Alright. So you may have seen the bullet adjust option that I tinkered with in the options. That means that every time we find a box of bullets... Miss. Every time we find a box of bullets, we get twice as many. And I believe you can do that up to 6 times. Depends on how many times you complete the game. That is also a New Game Plus option. Like, I've always wanted to do this game with some of the goofy bonus weapons, like the actual Hyper Blaster. But in order to get it, that will set the game difficulty to hard. And I'm not about that. You have a pretty bad time playing this game on hard. There's something padding around. Oh, we here? Okay. This is a pretty famous house in Silent Hill. And, as soon as I can find that other monster... Yeah, there he is. Let's deal with you. Is that the generic cougar sound? That sounds like generic cougar sound. I don't know. Probably a doghouse, though I'm not sure, since there's no dog around. Nope. Not that. Not that is what that is. Alright. I thought we had to go there. I guess not. Well, let's go on to the school. Well, you see, you'd think that I'd notice if it was a generic stock sound effect, because I do like generic stock sound effects. I have in the past toyed with the idea of, could I make a game that uses nothing but old stock sound effects? And probably not. Oh. Well, this kind of puts a spanner in the works, doesn't it? The entire road is missing. See what the note says. Oh, there we go. Doghouse 11th Street. I knew we had to go there. We just needed to find the flag that told us we needed to go there. I bet the rest of the game's going to be this flaggy as well. Let's find out. Is this one 11th Street? I don't know. I don't know why I'm trying to read the road signs. I have a map. Yes, it is. Okay. So going back to the idea that this is a time loop of some sort, the idea is that Harry wrote that note to himself. And he told him to go and check over here. Because past him knew it was there. There's a bit in, of all things, one of the Bill and Ted movies where they do that. Where they just say, like, well, in the future, we can just steal the key and put it, like, behind this rock. And then they just happen to find it. And that's really silly. And I like that they do that. Okay. Really? Is that not going to open? How do we get in there? I do not know. There is meant to be a way to open that door, and there is a katana inside. And I guess I have missed something, or maybe I'm thinking of a different house. Guess we'll find out. There are 4 locks. I don't know. That's just the first thing that came to mind. Oh, yeah, I remember now. This is actually... I believe this is a fairly simple route if you can follow it. Actually, since we're here, let's show this off. So, to go back to my previous point, I mentioned that it's unclear when these games take place in time. And this sort of thing is why. Like, everyone has these massive, busted CRT TVs. And nobody has phones. And nobody has, like, emails or computers or fax machines, even. So the whole game is this technical void. And it's... like I say, it helps you to keep the game timeless, because it's already out of date when it comes out. And it's the same premise behind stuff like when Star Trek movies use like 60s rock, because you can't beat the classics, and also you don't need to decide what future music sounds like, because I don't think future music in... I'm gonna say Star Trek again, because there's that episode where they have that. It never sounds right. They never predict the trends. And nobody saw dubstep coming. I'm just gonna run away from you. The enemies are supposed to be able to hear your breathing sounds as well. I don't know that that is true. I've never noticed it to any particular degree, but again, the last time I played this game, I'm fairly sure I was a teenager, so... hey, the passage of time, what even is this? Also, yeah, welcome to Map Quest. You're gonna want to check your map a lot in this game. To the point that there is another Silent Hill game that gives you an achievement for completing the game without checking your map. I think it's like you get 5 throughout the entire game. And I feel like I've already used that up in this explanation. Pretty sure this is the demo area. Like, if you leave the attract mode running, it just cuts to this scene. Crazy, like, the little things you remember, isn't it? I remember the game being a lot more forgiving than this. Can I? No, I can't. I was gonna give him another kick just because he's down, because that's what you get. Alright, let's push on. Have I just gone off in the wild direction? No, I have not. Okay. Like, that's another problem with having this impenetrable fog, is that you're never entirely sure where you are. What? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know I could do that. Maybe don't skip around the monsters, Andy. You don't want to get caught out. Hopefully they will get the hint and leave us alone at some point. Not if I run into a wall. So, like, this is something that the Silent Hill series generally gets right about monsters, is that you're going to want to run away from them most of the time. You're going to want to be scared in a survival horror game. And not every game in the series gets this right. There are some where you feel like you're leading a conga line around the city, because just so many monsters pour in and keep following and chasing and just keep up with you somehow. But some games, like 2, my favorite, and also Wife, that game, the monsters generally just leave you alone anyway. You feel like you're the one bothering them. Aha, here we go. health drink for our troubles. That's a pretty creepy image there, game. Whatever the reason behind these monsters' existence, it's... Somebody does not like dogs. Okay, out and to the left. Incidentally, I'm not going to just... Hey, here's the reason behind literally everything. Because maybe some people are new and don't know the game. Maybe some people have forgotten and wish to rediscover the lore. I don't know. Oh, I remember this. I thought this was a bit in, like, a much late... Oh, it is a bit in a much later game. They recreate it in that game. I completely forgot that. Incidentally, people who have seen such things, have you noticed a theme in the keys that we picked up? Yeah, there you go. That's what you get, and that's what that other guy gets for doing their thing and attacking me. And then I think 11th Street is... Alright, second right. Let's go. They are all keys. Very well noticed. Gold star on a chocolate biscuit. I realize I've just turned into my college-level math teacher right then, and I may just cancel the stream right now. Ooh, health drink. This is another one of those things that just kind of exists in my mind. There is a health drink at the fast food place. I don't know why I remembered that, but there it is. I don't know. Did I say math? I think I said maths. Because it's mathematics, not mathematic. With an S. I feel victimized by my own chat. But I may have... That guy was just standing in an alleyway waiting to come and get me. That was a monster closet moment right there. You don't get to ambush me with that, friend. Nope. I really hope this is 11th Street. It should be? Yes, it is. Okay. Well, yeah, no. My old maths lecturer, maths with an S, whenever he'd be like, right, who wants to answer this question? Anybody? And then you do it, and then he'd go, brilliant there, gold star and chocolate biscuits. And that's the voice that he had. Like, it's a very thick Brummie accent, and like, it's still very intimidating, that man. So the keys, we have the lion, and the woodman, and a scarecrow. Which are like the characters from The Wizard of Oz. Which is a story about someone who gets whisked away into a fantasy world where nothing is quite as it seems. I thought it was pretty cool. Just reload that. Don't know why I'm gonna need that. Also, you'll notice the map mentioned the keys to the eclipse, and now it's gone dark. And if you turn the light off, the frame rate gets really good. But, can't really see anything. So, let's turn that back on. Oh yeah, that's the other downside to turning the light off. It's basically what you would expect. You can't pick up items, and you can't check your map. So, good for sneaking past monsters, I guess. But you're gonna want to keep that on. Right. Which direction is the school? Harry's right. He says turning left. Right. When I'm on the tills, and I have to say to customers, hey, all the stuff that I have scanned is on the right. And I have to make a specific note to flip it around, because I'm facing them. Well, how's that? The overlay did update. Fancy that. I am about to die. And you can tell, well, I can tell, because my controller's going bananas. You'll also notice that the guns slowly reload over time. You don't necessarily need to have Harry do it. Which, this guy's bad at aiming. My goodness. Like, for as weak as the laser gun is... Actually, can I do this? Oh, can't reload that. All of the ammo is gone. Right, hang on. Let me pick that up again. Yeah, like, you can see the laser tracking wildly around the map. That's aiming on its own. Which is probably the only real advantage to having this version of the gun. Thinking to myself, was the game always this difficult, or am I just used to, like, games holding your hand in the modern era? I don't know. I'm glad you like the stream overlay thing. That one came to me and, like, I just had that idea. Like, oh yeah, the whole thing, my overlay follows a day-night cycle anyway. So why not just try and sync it up to this game? I forgot to unequip the joke weapon. Let's equip something that actually works. Something that works in theory, because it's not doing a super good job. There we go. I'm just gonna go a little quiet while I read Mew's comment there. I mean, to an extent, I agree and I get what you're coming from. I think the given thing is that it is expected that most games will have the first 5-10 minutes of gameplay be incredibly easy. Here's how to run and jump and shoot. Here's an incredibly easy enemy to take down. Then you go and do your thing. As opposed to something like cliche example, I'm going to go with Dark Souls, which I don't believe tutorializes anything. You just... Hey, there you go, you're in Majula, have fun. You will not have fun. And I think that's a good example in general, and it's something that I was going to bring up with Bloodstained, because it's something I got with that, is that when you die in Dark Souls, generally speaking, it's your fault. You missed that dodge, or you, I don't know, didn't parry it right. It's very rare that the game will just... Camera, please. It's very rare that the game will just do the Capcom thing of, like, just dropping you in a pit. Haha, lose a life. Do it better next time. And I think that's a very hard balance to strike, and while it is the cliche answer, like, oh man, the Dark Souls games are the worst and the hardest, they are actually very fair like that. There is maybe one point where they are unfair and boot you down a pit, and that is a trustworthy patch is booting you down a pit because that's what he does. Alright. I'm going to ignore these guys and just book it into the school. Let's go. Fun fact, all of the location art for this school is lifted directly from Kindergarten Cop. AOL, hello, how are you? First time chatter as well. Welcome in. Yes, you are right. If you trust patches, that's kind of what you get. Right, random question. Has anyone ever been to a school that required a map? Because even on, like, Freshers Days and all that, the schools that I have been to have just been like, you just follow someone around. It's fine. Alright, what else do we have? $12. A place with songs and sound. A silver guidepost is untapped in Lost Tongues, awakening at the Ordained Order. Oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know exactly what that is. People who know the Silent Hill series know what that is. Doing a bit of a sweaty emote right now because I know what that is. $5. Darkness that brings the choking heat. Flames render the silence, awakening the hungry beast. Open time's door to beckon prey. And $10. Alchemy Laboratory. Gold in an old man's palm. The future hidden in his fist. Exchange for Sage's water. I'm going to say they're the clues for the next set of puzzles, because one of those is definitely a puzzle. It is a very notorious puzzle among at least the Silent Hill fandom. Is it a picture of a door? It's just very abstract. Not the kind of thing I'd expect to see hanging up in a staff room. Chat, did anyone ever get the chance to go into the staff room when they were in school? And were you severely underwhelmed when it was just like stuff? Oh, it's you! Hi! So these guys are called Mumblers. And they're not supposed to be here. Oh, Mew, do not worry about it at all. Like, I didn't take it as anything offensive, and I get it. And I'm not going to go, you're entitled to your opinion, because that sounds, again, dismissive on my part, but, like, no, I get it. So don't worry. you're totally good. It is 10 o'clock. Okay, I know where I'm going. I just don't know how to get there. That's, I feel like this is just my life in general, you know? So yeah, these guys, Mumblers, they're not supposed to be here right now. We're supposed to be fighting an enemy called Grey Children. Don't open the map, Harry. We're being attacked. Thank you. We're supposed to be fighting an enemy called Grey Children, which are like this, but a lot smaller, and the name is basically what they are. They're grey, childlike monsters attacking with knives. And they were taken out of this version of the game, and later versions of the Japanese version of the game, because it was considered in bad taste to be doing that in the vicinity of a school. Especially since I believe around the time this game came out, there was an instance like that in England, which is like super rare. And everyone, understandably, was trying to deal with that and move on from it and ensure that it's not doesn't happen again. So I have not played World of Warcraft. How did they rebalance it and make it easier? Was it like enemy HP, that sort of thing? Because like the only MMO that I've particularly seen is I have played Phantasy Star Online a whole bunch on the Dreamcast, and I watched RighQ and those play Final Fantasy 14. Crowley919, hello, do come in. This nonsense is me streaming. I've decided to do that instead of just putting it on YouTube. I know you weren't in yet, possibly because I didn't like aggressively spam your inbox. I was just like, hey, I'm streaming. You want to come check it out? I thought it was all right. But welcome in. You're here now. And we're all good. This is Crowley9, friend of mine. He does Let's Plays on YouTube as well. I'm in some of them. One of them is The Prisoner. And I distinctly remember we completed it. But I cannot tell you how. No, Crowley9 is a pretty cool fellow to have a chat with as well. We were sharing Japanese treats before I came online. I'm out of bullets. Okay. Let's, grab one of those. There we go. Let's also grab some health drinks. Also, something that you're kind of supposed to be able to take with you from this game is that you're not supposed to fight every monster. But, hey, try telling me that. I just said that, and I'm not going to listen to myself, you know? Oh yeah, I started this tangent, and then I wandered away from it. Let's go back to that. So, that is really creepy. I've just noticed that picture. Don't be showing me that. So yeah, at the very least, a lot of the location art and like the set dressing for this game, That might be why I'm running low on bullets, is because I'm, the little cheat didn't stick. That's what you get. And that's why I turned the gun thing up. So a lot of the, like, set dressings, like the posters that you'll see around the place, they are from the movie, Kindergarten Cop. And it was only years and years and years later that somebody happened to be watching the movie and happened to notice that. And then they went through, like, the assets for the game, and the... Nope. Nope. Not doing that. Yep. We'll have less of that. I can tell my health is kind of low. Yeah. So this is one of the problems that... I say problems. It's, not something I'm keen on. Whenever you complete the game, it ups the difficulty. So I can tell you that the last time I played this game, I definitely did it on easy because we are currently on normal. And I had a much easier time of it on easy mode. Who knew? And you can tell that it's easy mode because not easy mode, normal mode, excuse me. Because the menu's blue. On easy mode, it's yellow. And I think it's red on hard mode. The easy is typically easier than normal. It's wild, I know. Right, nope, don't do that. One of those. Okay. So, we got a note that said that at 10 o'clock we need to go to deal with alchemy, which is the science lab. So let's go and do that. Don't need distilled water, but we do need a chemical of some description. I think in the demo they named it. It was like sulfuric acid. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that one. I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to hide from those monsters. Right. Yeah, here it is. So this guy is in the science lab. The fist shut tight, as if never to let go. But, because we have the chemical... was worried we didn't. Because we have the chemical, we can... off camera, pour it on the hand, which will cause the whole thing to break. And let us have whatever was inside. Which is its gold medallion. What was that one quote? We are all just chemicals bouncing around. It's a good quote. I like it. I want to say it was John Lennon. I don't know what it was in reference to. Okay. Which way is the thing? This game has an aggressive draw distance. Yes. Yes, it may have just gone straight for the dick. Enemies in this game are kind of violent like that. Incidentally, this is something I very much like about the Silent Hill series of games, and... well, I suppose this era of survival horror anyway is like this. Still images of puzzles. Yes. Give me those. Right. 12 o'clock. is... Well, I know this one. I forget what the clue was, but we have to go to the music room. Once again, people who know about the music room just shudder in fear. Can I just go down the other end of this hallway? I bet I can't. I bet it's going to make me go around. Oh, I can. And apparently I already have. Camera, please. So, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I was like, I hope this game is good. I hope it's as good as I remember it being. I haven't played it for 20-something years, I guess. And they were like, it's fine. It's going to be fine. The camera is already lazily swinging around, like it does in Silent Hill. Like, that's a staple of the series. Okay. So here is the clue for this puzzle. A tale of birds without a voice. First flew the greedy pelican, eager for the reward, white wings flailing. Then came a silent dove, flying beyond the pelican as far as he could. A raven flies in, flying higher than the dove, just to show that he can. A swan glides in to find a peaceful spot next to another bird. Finally, out comes a crow, coming quickly to a stop, yawning then napping. Who will show the way? Who will be the key? Who will lead to the silver award? So this is arguably the hardest puzzle in the game, and a lot of people have argued that this is the hardest, or one of the hardest puzzles in the Silent Hill franchise. I don't know if I go for that, because presented with this and the poem, chat, what do you think we would need to do? Because the poem talks about different colored birds, so like pelicans and doves, they're white. Ravens and crows are black. We've got black and white keys, so there we go. See, Crowley is on the right line. Press piano keys. Good job. What we have to do is to take the poem that we have just been given and map it to the keys that we have here. So, it talks about, the first one was the pelican, and it said that it comes in, and I know that that one is this one right here. But then next, we have the dove, which is a white bird that goes as far as it can, but it can't go here because there is one bird that goes higher than it. So it has to go there. And then the raven goes one higher to show that it can. And then, what was the next one? The swan? The swan has to go next to a quiet bird, which was the dove, which is this one. So it's that one. And then the crow doesn't try at all. And that's how you open the thing. Yeah, Crowley 9 gets it. It is a logic puzzle. Similar to P-Cross, but not quite, I'm told. And I used to love those logic puzzles, so I never had a great deal of trouble with that one. Mainly because once I worked out that it was A and B are not the same, C is before A, etc., etc., you just slot it in. There's only one solution to that. Although, and I'm really annoyed I didn't take a picture of this, I have a second-hand copy of Silent Hill. Because I got it, like, after it came out, way after it came out. And someone has scribbled down the answer to that somewhere in the notebook. And I'm like, why am I ever going to need to know, like, this series of blocks? What are you talking about, game? And then, right, we have this service in England, it's called teletext. Which is text on the telly. Who knew? And Channel 4 has one that's like video game cheats. Or they had one. I'm pretty sure the service is long discontinued. And every day, they'd have a fresh batch of cheats up. Except when Silent Hill came out, where they had the solution to that puzzle just on the front page for a week, and they were like, here is the stupid answer to the stupid piano puzzle for the stupid Silent Hill and the stupid PlayStation. I'm guessing the writers was kind of held up on that one. There we go. Alright, that was a stock cat noise. I know we're all wanting to post Fs in chat right now for that cat, and you should, because that was tragic. But, like, yes, it is strictly necessary to do that, even though it spawns a monster. Get out of here. Right, what are we doing? I'm gonna go this way, get some supplies. I'm gonna get mobbed is what I'm gonna get. Incidentally, these monsters are part of this game, and they're supposed to show up, like, the next to last dungeon. And it makes the start of the game quite a lot more difficult. Did we just walk right past each other? Or is the radio just going nuts for no reasons? I think it's that second one. Okay, let's explore. He's already down. Kick him. Come on, Harry. Amateur hour right there. Crowley9, you make a good point. What does the locker imply about how the two worlds interact or can interact? It is something that they talk about a lot more in Silent Hill 4. I thought that was a creepy meme face right there, the white one. You know the one. But yeah, they talk about it a lot more in Silent Hill 4 with what happens if the two worlds interact. Ideally in ways that they shouldn't do that. Okay. You see, I'm glad that you're here, Crowley, because a lot of my notes here begin with, so this one friend of mine says, and then basically just discuss things that you say. Oh, it's these guys! No? Are they just invisible now? I'm guessing they're just invisible now. Well, there are meant to be, if the camera decides it wants to focus, there's meant to be little shadowy black penguin-looking things waddling around, not doing anything. That is not one of those. And it kind of ties into something that it was present in the demo and the earlier trailers for the game, where the small, creepy, squishy, I think they're called larval creepers or something like that. They used to have a more fleshy texture, like these guys. And you could attack them, but they took that out, because the devs figured it's not nice to attack it creature that's defenseless and not actively attacking you, unlike these guys, which are going for the throat and other things. So to my earlier point, Crowley and I have had this discussion before. Do the monsters emit radio waves? Do they have some kind of weird influence on electronics around them? Why is it only the radio? I don't know. That's just how it is. Incidentally, it does go a little bit deeper than that. There's a point in the game later on where we're going to go underground, and seriously, are these models just not loading? Once again, I go back to a question I keep posing. Why do my 20-year-old electronics keep malfunctioning? It's almost like this wasn't designed to keep happening. No, there's a point later on in the game where we go underground, and the radio stops working. Which kind of implies that whatever is happening is to do with something above the ground, rather than the monsters themselves. I don't know. It's like one of those plot contrivances that it's just been around for so long. Silent Hill uses radio waves to identify monsters. I'm just so used to it that I don't question it anymore. Right. You're right, radio waves are pretty well blocked by being underground, but surely if the monsters are making the radio waves, and you're stood next to them, it wouldn't overly matter where you were? I don't know. One of the stores I have worked at, a company that I work for, the staff room is underground, and it's like a bunker. And you don't get anything down there. There is no phone signal, nothing. I do not like the sounds of that. Especially since looking at the mixer, it's like creeping up on my voice. Right, what is next? Next is 5 o'clock, which is a place full of choking heat, according to the notes. And that is the other side of the school. We need to go to the boiler room, which is never a good sign. I don't recall many good things happening in boiler rooms, but here we are. Which one is it? Is it you? No, that's jammed. Crowley, I would never. This is a Christian Minecraft server, my good man. We'll have less of that. That was a fairly suspect sound from that boiler right there. Let's not do that. Go back to that clock tower and see what happens next. Oh god, clock tower, I can't escape. Don't say it 3 times in a mirror, you'll summon Beep Salt, and they'll just start going snickety snack. And then I will feel very sad. Right, let's go through this door. In theory, let's go through this door. Tank controls, man. What even are they? Following on from the idea that this is a time loop, one of the theories is that this is where Harry had stopped in the past and just Maybe he'd taken one energy drink, maybe he'd taken several, and he just keeps coming back and doing this. It's just a really neat little touch that there's just health drinks everywhere next to a big keep out sign. Like, I know games that use subtext. And those games are cowards. I was going to save that line for Homecoming. Still going to use it for Homecoming.
Have I been here before?
Click, hello.
I don't remember this being here before.
Yeah, I think I noticed the big occult symbol. Can I go this way? No, I can't. So very early on, this is the message key for Silent Hill. If it says it's locked, you will be able to open it at some point. If it says the door is jammed, you're not getting through it. And this is where we get the main meme name that came around about Silent Hill 3. Everything is rusty and the doors are locked. Right, I do not need to be in this lovely room of death. What are you? A used up drink, okay. These aren't even monsters. These are just cockroaches in Arizona. Crowley, that line reminds me of an old Vincent Price movie where there's two police officers looking at a body that has been just horrendously murdered, and they ask, like, are we treating the death as suspicious? Well, he's been impaled on a statue, so it's a good start. Or something like that, and it's a really nice bit of sarcasm. I do like sarcasm. Oh, that's pretty clever. So there's a key on the back of that card, and 3 horizontal slots on the front. We have seen this before, and we can deduce from the look of it what it is used for. That is pretty clever game design. Magic is also good game design. Just screw it, a wizard did it. Right. Off we go. Realms of the Haunting is one that I've heard certain friends mention very good things about in passing, but I personally have never played it. But the fact that, like, Crowley and Mew are both, if only tacitly, giving it a recommendation, that says to me I need to go check it out. I've missed the door, that's where that is. Thank goodness for this map. Also, next question, mostly for the American viewers, is this a thing? Do your classrooms have, like, doors that interconnect one another? Because, like, English primary schools are all, like, open plan. And if you want to go from class 1 to class 2, you just sort of go over there. You don't go through another door into another room. Okay, right, so, like, the room that we're in on the right-hand side of the map, there's 2 classrooms which are connected on the right-hand side. In England, that doesn't happen. It's just 2 separate rooms that lead into the hallway. And I don't know if that's, like, a contrivance of game design, or what the Japanese think American schools are like. Because, again, if they're going to a movie for set design... I do not lie, Mew. I do my best to tell the truth at all times, except when it's funny. But no, my primary school and the ones that I have visited and taught at, they are all open plan. Like I say, it's just... maybe there's, like, a low wall here and there, or like an IKEA-style partition, but you can still just see from the front end of the school to the back, pretty much. Anything else in this medicine cabinet? No, just the one. Alright. I'm going to show this off. This is a safe system that makes sense. Harry finds these little notepads lying around and decides that he's going to write down what's happening because, hey, someone's going to need that. There we go. How accurate is that? That's pretty accurate. And we automatically open up the map. Thanks, Harry. That's fine. Yeah, except when it's funny. That's the key to lying. You just give yourself lots of passes if the comedic timing is good. Is this that thing you were talking about in chat previously? I'm not gonna linger too hard on this one because this is like an in-joke between the two of us, but... well, Crowley 9, let me tell you, there are, I believe, 2 points in Silent Hill 3 when you find notepads that Harry has written in. And... sorry, I'm just listening to this John Carpenter soundtrack that's just one note, unending. The song Everything in Its Right Place. It's 4 minutes of one chord, and it's a really good song. It's just kind of nightmarish. But no, in Silent Hill 3, you do find Harry's notes here and about, and I think it's a pretty neat little callback, because the character in that game goes to some of these locations. Very handy. And I seem to recall he has really nice handwriting in the still images as well. Anything useful here? No? Okay. Oh, that... okay. Oh, that's what... yeah, alright. Realization sounds intensify. This is another point of note that has come back to me. And I will show you what's going on in a second. Because I'm pretty sure this is a door that we need to go into. Yes. This is essentially the boys' room in the high school that I went to, so like, yep. But we need to come here to collect this shotgun. Very important item, and the game is a little bit unfair because you can't complete the game without it. And now we're going to go this way. Because if you notice, the game actually plays a little bit of a sneaky trick on you. And we have switched floors. And now we're upstairs. And I forget what's in this room. I think it's just ammo. Yeah, but it's definitely something very useful, especially with the ammo switch on. I do not remember there being a shotgun in Resident Evil 7, I'll be honest. I remember there being quite a lot of just being helpless and running away, and actually doing a really good job of making that a mechanic. Alright, let's keep exploring. That bug. Right, where are you? The true horror is actually the camera. Ah. Or tank controls. Still not very good with those. Ah, that bug didn't take too much health. That's fine. Oh, that's pretty cool. The idea that they mention it's like a riff on a puzzle from an earlier game. I love when games do stuff like that. And again, I mentioned Silent Hill 3. There are several parts of that game that all play on things you see in this game. Hello? Who was phone?
Cheryl!
Yes, 911. Emergency, please. I think that's a pretty good way of, like, keeping the player on track, I guess. Because if you look at... So if you read the manual, if you're one of those guys, the objective of this game is very simply find Cheryl. That's all you have to do. And all the stuff that we're doing here, that's secondary to that. Ooh, I know what I can do. This game is coming back to me in fits and starts, and I've just remembered there is something really cool up here. Right. I'm pretty sure we can use this anywhere in this room. Yes, we can. Alright. What? Nope. No idea what that could be. Anyway, bye. Very important that we do that. Crowley, I'm gonna give you snaps for that because I mentioned that there were 4 lights quite a ways back. I don't know if you were here for that one, but like, yeah, someone knows what's up. Now, the solution, you may think, is as easy as just turning on this tap and flushing the key down. However, there is a little more to it than that. Also, that's a very nostalgic crank sound. I'm a big fan. So, the water is falling down a little hole down here. So what we have to do is use the rubber ball to plug up the drain. Is rubber known for floating in water? Probably not. We'll be fine. Don't even think about it. Well, once again, survival horror game logic is a bit bananas like that. You're quite right. And again, I turn to another point in this series where you have to use a wax doll and a horseshoe and a firelighter to make a door handle, despite having a number of entry tools that could just open the door. And it all makes sense within the context of what's happening in that game. It's very bizarre. I love it. But like, that's how survival horror games go. That's how like point and click adventures go. Yes, you could take one simple route to get where you need to go, but why would you do that? You could just reach that stupid rubber duck in the longest journey, but why not take the entire game to go and get that stupid rubber duck in the longest journey? Alright, where's that water? I'm fairly sure it's beside the door at some point. Yeah, here we go. Because I remember this as well. It lights up when the torch is off. That's pretty clever. A classroom key. Amazing. Have I done the ground floor? Yes, I have. Alright. One of my favorite bits of technically point-and-click adventure game puzzles is Telltale's Minecraft story mode. Of all things. Because at the very start, you have to make, I think, a shovel. I hear you. Hear those bugs? I hear those bugs. Towards the start of Minecraft story mode, you have to make, I think, a shovel or something. But if you know Minecraft, you can also make a switch. Like a lever with it. And if you do that, you can use it to skip a substantial part of the game later on. Like, generally, the switch is completely useless, except for this one puzzle several episodes later. Where, like, your character has to find a hidden switch in, like, a bookcase. That old classic. But he just decides to use the one that he brought with him. Game, please! I should heal up. My controller's vibrating pretty badly. Incidentally, 122 bullets. This is why we cheat. Oh, it was you. Alright, cool. Right, backtracking a little bit. I kind of like the soundtrack in the school. I say soundtrack. Cantaloupe, hello. How's it going? I hope we're doing well today. Please come in, have a seat. Oh yeah, it's a spooky game. I intend to play most of these spooky games. So I'm gonna start at the start. And, go through all the growing pains of tank controls. Well, that is absolutely fine. You enjoy your work. Enjoy your lurk. There is a lurk command, even. I wrote it. It was surprisingly easy to do, but I'm still very proud of it. Yeah, check that out. Now we know, and we know to give you your piece. But yes, I like the music, or at least the musical motif that is used in the school, where it's just one note rhythmically, and how they will occasionally layer. This one is just distant pounding. This one's got more of a piano feel to it. This one's got more of a screeching feel to it. But as previously discussed, I am also big fan of dynamic music in games. Please, all games include more of that. I absolutely love it. Alright. So this goes to the point that we had earlier, where what could there possibly be inside this otherworld locker? Oh. I was like 90% sure that there was a key in there, and that's what we needed to do to go to the next place. I didn't flinch. You did. You got me, game. Man, I was talking to someone who was like, hey, you should have a webcam because I want to see the facials you do when you do voices, because I do that and I go pretty hard with it. In particular, they summon the idea that I blush super easily and you can hear it when I do it. That's one you want, because when that guy fell out of that locker, I just, like, creased in half and retracted into myself. I'm fine. I'm actually fine. Excuse me. I'm sorry, does Transistor just have a specific hum the music button? Because that's great. I love that as an idea. Right, I'm pretty sure. That is a super cute idea, that the music is the diegetic, I think is the word. But the idea that the character can hear the music and hums along to it, I like that. I liked in MGS5 that Quiet would sing to you, or hum to you at the very least. Hello? approve of that. We'll have less of that game. Oh, it's this bit. Okay, this... Let's read it first. Hearing this, the hunter, armed with the bow and arrow, said, "I will kill the lizard." But upon meeting his opponent, he held back, taunting, "Who is afraid of a reptile?" At this, the furious lizard hissed, "I'll swallow you up in a single bite." Then the huge creature attacked, jaws opened wide. This was what the man wanted. Calmly drawing his bow, he shot into the lizard's gaping mouth. Effortlessly, the arrow flew, piercing the defenseless maw, and the lizard fell down dead. That is a clue to something that's coming up, and that's also a clue to something that we see in Silent Hill 3, where the main character in that game does essentially the same thing we are about to do. We find a key, we find a fairy tale with a story in it, and that story tells us essentially what the next step of the puzzle chain is. Just once, I would like a room with nice things in it. Not monsters. Like, I unlocked this room. Give me something nice, please. Give me health. Or bullets. Give me a hug. I need those as well. Oh, speaking of, I saw that. Later games would do it where characters will... Get out! Other characters will look at things in the environment that they need to pay attention to. So as you'll be walking along, James from Silent Hill 2 will just sort of turn his head and look at the health drink on the shelf over there. Or maybe he'll notice a key or a map or something. I think that's a pretty clever idea. Again, going back to Transistor and humming along, showing awareness of your environment, that is a good thing. Please do more of that, game designers. Oh hey, we are pretty much at the end of this dungeon, and I'm kinda surprised I made it here as quickly as I did. I say quickly as I did. It's been 2 hours. I was expecting to maybe get halfway here. Again, I guess I misgauged how long this game is. Oh, I remember this. Oh, no. Well, let's chat amongst ourselves for a little bit, because this is a puzzle that it's going to take quite a bit of trial and error. And I'm never entirely sure how to do it right. Basically, as we turn these crank handles here, I'm not sure what they are. The stakes in front of us will turn, and we need to get it so that we are not blocked, and then we can just go ahead towards whatever is there. This is another one of those things where I could reasonably, like, sit down and work it out, but as we have established previously, I do have kind of a blind spot for working out puzzles when I can just sit and tinker with buttons, and eventually the puzzle will solve itself, right? Surely. Yes? Good. Let's just keep doing this. Let's keep appreciating, in fact, the sound design for some of these button prompts, because when I I say younger, not that much younger. I did it in university when I was making like RPG Maker projects. I tended to use the Silent Hill menu noises as occasionally placeholder menu noises, occasionally final product menu noises, because I like them. And they just have a really cool sound to them. I can solve this. I can run it back. You don't know. I'm choosing to use the logic behind, like, Rubik's Cubes and those slidey tile puzzles where keep tinkering, I'll get it eventually. If I'd have known this was coming up, probably would have written down the solution. Oh! Nearly had it. Do you know what, Mew? That is a really solid pick. The Kingdom Hearts magical menu noises. Yes, that is a good pick. There is one of the YouTube channels I watch, Kappa Kaiju, pretty cool guy, go check him out. And he does a lot of like book reviews and movie reviews lately. He used to do more commentary style, but his thing is he likes to use the Kingdom Hearts menu music for just things that he does, and I really like that. Okay. Gotta be honest with you, chat. This point, more than any other, is where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't play the entire Silent Hill series. It is a silly game. You don't have to do this in Silent Hill 3. Incidentally, you just go to the boss. Spoilers: we're heading for a boss. Alright, fine. Let's write it down. A puzzle where I have to match medications to patients? I don't remember that. Do you know what? I have 100% at Origins, and I do not remember this. These notes are not helping me. Like at all. Wait. Note-taking! Yes! Check that out. Right. Pop that down over there. Did I just throw my notebook to the floor? No, I didn't. Right. So, I mentioned that we need the shotgun to complete the game. Because we do. Because we have something coming up through this door, which is kind of related to the storybook that we just now found. I'm kind of dreading this, because tank controls. Not super great with those. Let's see how I do. It's not in Homecoming. I remember a staggering amount about Homecoming. It comes up fairly frequently in one of my gaming group chats, where it's like, stop yelling about Homecoming, Andy. Nobody cares. speaking of dynamic music, listen to this. No, no, no! Ah! Game! I had that. I got stunned. It's fine. Thankfully, we can just continue. The game is really, really lenient with stuff like that sometimes. So that's going to be, like a negative mark on my score at the end of the game. But it won't change the ending. The good and bad endings are all... Is my light off? I can't tell. The good and bad endings are based on what you do in the game. Right. Let's try this again. There you go. That's what you're supposed to do. Is remember what the story said and, like, attack when the maw is open. Well, Crowley, had you been here from the start, you would have heard a really good evil voice going, Silent Hill. And it was pretty great. A very funny joke. I had a big laugh. Wonder who that was. Probably no one important.
Huh? What was that? Who in the hell was that?
Kind of feel like we're gonna find mankind down here. Gonna have a match about the Undertaker. I don't know. Let's get this giant obvious key. I should do a better job of informing people when I stream. I mostly just sort of throw it out in other people's Discords and then people show up. Mostly Rach, because she's pretty great. Kay Gordon is a name that keeps showing up in the Silent Hill series. I believe that is one of the musicians in Sonic Youth. But you see, look at that. You tell Reich that she's great, and here she is. I'm going to pause the game a moment, and I'm going to do one of these. Because Wright has been doing some charity streaming lately, and raising a fair amount of money, and you should go check him out, because even when it's not charity streams, she's a pretty good streamer. Very good, high energy, wonderful things to say about basically everyone. Check him out. Alright. So I believe in this version of the school, every door is locked, but you can only take the route out. So that's pretty clever. Game? Okay, there we go. I'm going to reload and then unequip the shotgun, because I'm going to need that for stronger things later. Let's keep that handgun with us. And let's keep it going. I think I remember what I need to do with this key as well. I'm fairly sure it's like somebody's back door key. And kind of like how we had to get the 3 keys to come through into the back alleyway, we have to go through a back alleyway to go out someone's front door. And I'm going to say it's down here. Incidentally, all of the street names are famous horror authors. And going back to a comment made earlier, a friend of mine has lamented the fact that there is no Merengue Crescent. There should be. Yeah, this is where we need to go. They're not going to fully render a backyard just to have it there. There we go. That's the save. I thought that was health. Wait a second. Is this the one with the sword in it? No. Okay. I genuinely have no idea how you get that sword in the other house. I know it's there. And I remember getting it, because when you use it, Harry flies across the map for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he's doing like a dark slash thing, like from Pokemon. I don't know. Right, where are we going? Let's go this way. Let's not go this way. Incidentally, bit of behind-the-scenes coding thing for you. The pits are death traps. You die if you go in there, but they're covered by invisible walls, so you can never go in there. And they changed that in, I think, only one subsequent game where you can fall into the pits. And then they went, oh yeah, there's a reason why we never did that. Except we need it for like 2 puzzles, so I guess we have to deal with it in this game. Game. There we go. I'm gonna take a guess and say I have to cut through this back alleyway. The game does like its back alleyways. Hiding monsters in them. How dare you? Get out. It's almost like it's a horror game or something, and I should be afraid of them. You know, I never thought about this before, but I think it's kind of cool that at least these guys, they are called, I think, like, air screamers. I think it's pretty cool that we're finding them doing organic things. Like, they're not just monsters here to attack us, they are massive flying beasts that exist in Silent Hill. We just happen to be encroaching on their territory. Oh, yeah. So, this is a chainsaw. No gasoline. Can't use it. That's in Zack McCracken. But, in a New Game Plus, we actually can collect that chainsaw. Because among the items that the game spawns when you load into New Fear, it's a can of gasoline, which is somewhere nearby. I think. Don't quote me on that. That is not the church. Real smooth moves, Andy. That's also a pretty neat touch. They didn't need to include Harry falling off the steps like that. I think that's the only place you can do it in this game. But they did it. Oh, okay. Maybe this is the church. You see that giant cross? Okay. This is the church. Let's see what we have. Something wildly discordant. You love to see it. Hey, I remember you from the intro.
Were you ringing that bell?
I've been expecting you. It was foretold by gyromancy.
What are you talking about?
I knew you'd come.
Brother Nero!
Girl, right?
The girl? You're talking about Cheryl.
I see everything.
You know something. Tell me.
Stay back. Nothing is to be gained from floundering about at random. You must follow the path. The path of the hermit concealed by Flauros.
What? What are you talking about?
Here, the Flauros, a cage of peace. It can break through the walls of darkness and counteract the wrath of the underworld. These will help you. Make haste to the hospital before it's too late.
Wait, don't go yet.
So I feel like this is very typical Silent Hill framing for its characters. Like, here's somebody just... They want to talk to you, but actually they don't. They're just gonna wander off over there. But we got a little bit of plot, and we know what we're doing next. And Mew, I am entirely with you. I really like that character's voice. I get notes of Yzma, like kinda Eartha Kitt, kinda scary beyond all reason. But I like her. She does well. A Flauros. Let's take that. We have to take that because the Drawbridge key is what we need to progress, and we can't get that without taking the Flauros. That's going to be a key item lately. Do you know what? Discount Kate Mulgrew? I can hear it. I can hear it. Was watching the World Cup final yesterday, and the England women's coach looks shockingly like Janeway to me. I should watch Voyager again. Emmy award-winning episode of Voyager, Threshold, the best one. That one was a lie. Yeah, the door's open, so I can go in here. Oh, I remember this. It did win an Emmy. It won an Emmy for, I believe, Tom Paris's makeup when he started mutating and melting. Anyway, this memory unlocked way back in, like, the video game forum days of the internet. The long-running theme, or urban legend, was that this car could be repaired, and you could take it around Silent Hill. And I think it's here because Harry mentions the car engine. I want to say he mentions the car, but evidently he is not. But yeah, people had the idea that, hey, if you can fix that car, you can go and drive around. Which, I mean, I guess there's weirder things in Silent Hill. I literally demonstrated how I physically have to aim and fire a weapon in order to use it. You know? This series is bonkers sometimes. Right. Threshold is an interesting episode of Star Trek because it's one of the few ones that they kind of go out of their way to pretend never happened or just write out of the series canon. Because there's a point later when they're talking about it, it's like, Warp 10? No one's ever gone faster than Warp 10. Ever! And they just, like, look into the camera, like, don't mention it, that never happened. Talking about some nerd stuff, it's incredibly interesting if you're me. Anyway, now we have the gasoline. Do we have to use it? Pretty sure we have to use it if Harry's not just taking the thing. And now we have a chainsaw. This is one of the New Game Plus weapons. I do not remember it being very good. Don't remember using it very much. Possibly because there's like a startup to it. Let's find out. That would be why I never used it. Hang on. Let's just turn that off. That would get really... Especially because I'm wearing a headset and the noise is being beamed directly into my brain. Let's not do that. Let's continue on. The Drawbridge, I believe, is just straight down the street. Because I don't know if the game wants you to just stop exploring for a little bit and just go to the next area of Silent Hill. Hello, monsters. No monsters. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, pretty much just straight ahead. Okay. Did I just take a little sip? You don't know. Yes, I did. And see, this... Is that just straight up the Helix fossil? Probably not. Because, like, this game came out around the same time as Pokemon Red, I want to say? I want to say one was 96 and one was 99? I don't know. Let's keep on going. Let's go down here and see what else we have. I mean, I thought it was gonna be like a shell. Like it's shell oil, but not like that because you want to get sued. We've already been to the 811, you know? Now. Game. There we go. Stuck on some geometry. You'd love to see it. Okay, yeah, this is the second New Game Plus item. There is a rock drill. No gasoline. Can't use it. So you have a choice. Do you want to use the rock drill or do you want to use the chainsaw? And you can only get one per playthrough because you don't keep your weapons on subsequent playthroughs. The only thing that you can begin the game with is the real and fake Hyper Blaster. One of which I've shown off, the other one I might. But, you know, we'll see. There's not a great deal of shopping in the shopping district there. There's like a police station. That's about it. But yeah, that is the next area that we are going to head to. Right after we go across this bridge. Okay, that's cool. I never noticed that before. Moving left and right plays through the left and right headphones. Amazing, the things I learn about this game when I played it for many years. Oh, and this is getting a little bit ahead of myself. It's a very sinister sounding mechanism you got going on there, game. I love it. Getting a little bit ahead of myself. There's a reimagining of this game later on in the series. And closing the drawbridge is a ridiculous lever puzzle. And I don't like it. Like, there's not a great many puzzles in that version of the game, but... Right. Having said that, I believe you can go to the police station right now. Which is directly ahead of us. And there is all kinds of, like, ammunition there. Which is something you want. Ooh. I don't like the look of that. Right, hang on. 56. This is fine. I thought these guys showed up a lot later. And I also thought they were a lot tougher than that. But, nope, down he goes. There we go. I'm still gonna go in here, and I'm still gonna hide for a bit. So we are... What are we now, like 2 hours into the game? And it has done nothing to explain why there are monsters here. And I think that's remarkable restraint on the part of the game designers. I mean, again, not to say that modern writing is bad, because I don't necessarily think that is the case, but I'm fairly sure in Resident Evil games they're like, oh yeah, we're just overrun, and we need to fight, so let's go. A memo on the desk. Coroner Seals called. Officer Gucci is unlikely to be murdered. He apparently died naturally. Unlikely to have been murdered? We will go with? But medical records show Officer Gucci had no prior symptoms of heart disease. See, that's the other thing that I don't like about notes in games. Everybody wants to be itchy tasty. Everybody tries to have an itchy tasty. And you can't, because it's like, you can only have the first time of you find something one time, you know? Like, I can't really think of any other note that made me go, oh yeah, it's that thing. With the possible exception of there was a hole here. I still hear, like, monkey sounds. Is there another one? I'm going to tentatively say no. And continue on. In the correct direction? In the correct direction. Elana Ray, hello, welcome back. I hope you are well. It's Monday. People are doing surprisingly well for it being a Monday. I feel like I'm doing surprisingly well for playing a horror game. I don't know. I feel like I've got a very bright voice a lot of the time, because that's what people tell me, and you don't necessarily want that for a horror game, but, you know. I like it. This store, if we can get the camera to focus on it, well, we can't. This store is called Just Cats. There you go. They just sell cats. And a lot of people spend a lot of time in there. I know I would. Big fan of cats. I have only jumped once. I'm very proud of that. It's... So What is that? Is that just a light? Why is that? Okay, that is just... It's like a lamppost hanging in midair is what that is. So Silent Hill isn't much of a jump-scary game. I think generally there is only 1 or 2 in the games. Like, the entire series. There's just 1 or 2 jump scares. What it does more than that is like an encroaching fear of dread. And more so in Silent Hill 2, which I will rave about all day, every day. I love that game. But it does a very good job of... Essentially, Harry is completely alone, except for these things that hate him, right? And that's a very Japanese kind of horror. If you think about, like, the Ring, or The Grudge. What's it about? Just ordinary people suffering for some reason, right? Oh. Gunfire? Not doing that. There we go. Well, thank you very much for the compliment on my voice as well. I will take it. I like it. Reminds me of... one of the nicest things that a colleague, or really anyone, has ever said to me is that I don't have a customer voice. I just have my speaking voice. Because you know when you hear people and you can tell that they're going like, "Hi, how are you?" That's not me. This is just how I speak to people. And yes, Mew, you are spot on with that. This could happen to me kind of horror. As opposed to... like Resident Evil style horror, which is, you know, are you gonna run out of supplies before you're able to kill everything? And generally the characters in that one are a lot more bonkers and over the top.
Hold it! Stop! Don't shoot!
Janitor from Watchmen selling right there.
I'm not here to fight. My name is Harry Mason. I'm in town on vacation.
Thank God, another human being.
Oh, this guy's voice is great.
Do you work here?
I'm Dr. Michael Kaufmann. I work at this hospital.
So maybe you can tell me what's going on.
I really can't say. I was taking a nap in the staff room. When I woke up, it was like this. Everyone seems to have disappeared. And it's snowing out, this time of year.
You could just feel the air quotes over that,
Something's
right?
gone seriously wrong. Did you see those monsters? Have you ever seen such aberrations?
Good word.
Ever even heard of such things? You and I both know creatures like that don't exist.
Yeah. Have you seen a little girl anywhere?
Get ready.
I'm looking for my daughter. She's only 7. Short, black hair.
She's missing. I'm sorry. But with all those monsters around, I highly doubt that she's...
He did set the line.
Sorry, I didn't mean to alarm you.
I didn't mean to alarm you, I'm just
Your wife,
opening
is
fire.
she with you?
She died 4 years ago. Now it's just me and my daughter.
I see. I'm sorry. Well, I'd better be going. I can't just sit around here doing nothing.
So long. Good luck out there.
So at least we have some degree of confirmation that someone else can see these monsters. It's not just us. But, oh, I don't like that. Look at that crinkly edge of the polygons. Not keen. Not keen. But do you see what I mean? That's a very Silent Hill way of introducing a character. It's like, hello, bye. Anyway, let's explore the hospital since we're here, because... I mean, I'm pretty sure the world is ending itself. There's like... Have you seen the massive craters and chunks taken out of the road? And once again, did we mention the monsters? Aha! Just a basement map. Okay. That tells me that I have missed something. So, hang on. Let's go back this way. This is something else that I... Kind of like the school, I've never really been to a hospital that had a map. Or at least not a pick it up and carry, like a tourist map. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, okay. So, yeah, Crowley9 makes a very good point. We will touch on it a little bit more potentially next stream. I don't know if we're going to find any today. I don't remember when they show up. But there is a story element in this game that they do touch on it briefly in one other game, but not to the extent that you see it in this game. And I'm going to leave that tangent purposefully unsaid, so that it's just out there and people are intrigued and maybe come back. How's that? Also, I'm pretty sure this texture of the poster right there, I'm pretty sure that is a nude model. And, like, you can't tell because it's, like, 2 pixels on a really crunchy PlayStation texture. But it is there. Hey, teasing is fun, right? You can't just give you the plot right now. Then what will happen if you find you're not going to come back and learn what's going on in this crazy town? I mean, I know why the monsters are here. Do you know what's going on? Now this is where we get an item related to a special slash variant ending in the game. Having noticed that red liquid on the floor, we have a lot of junk in our inventory. We have to scoop some of it up into this plastic bottle. Now we have a plastic bottle of red liquid of questionable purpose. And I'm relatively sure you're supposed to be able to read this one, although, again, I could be getting it mixed up with Silent Hill 3, which has a very similar set piece, where you find some books on a desk. Just like that. My favorite drink, cold. I love it. Can I get a drink? No. Okay. And the elevator doesn't appear to be working. Mew, I hope you're okay. I hope you're not spooked. I hope the delivery is everything that you hoped it would be. I've missed a door. This is why maps are important, guys. Because otherwise, I would just be wandering around this room for quite some time before I went, oh yeah, just go right a bit. Let's get a key. Right. Brief aside. Is there ever a point where you want to go to the basement? Because I don't believe there is. One of my friends, 2 of my friends, have done, like, remodeling on their houses recently, And whenever they do the tour, they go, this is the basement. We call it the murder corner. And like, yeah, of course you do, because it's the basement. No one wants to go down there. Listen to that. That's some spooky nonsense. Let's just ignore those for the time being. We'll come back. We will deal with those roaches momentarily. Every generator in this game sounds haunted. What is going on? I'm at orange hell from these stupid bugs. Is this how we meet our end? I mean, in fairness, I know the stereotype of like, oh yeah, living in your parents' basement. I don't think there is anything inherently wrong or shameful with living in your parents' basement, because you gotta live somewhere. People live with their parents sometimes. I did, you know? I know it's one of those go-to internet, like, power words, or at least it was. It seems to have fallen out of use, but like, I don't know. I think it's fine. Alright. So the first floor is where we came in. We know that that place works. It's where the vending machine is. Second floor is jammed. Doesn't work. I've seen your basement. I fully believe it is haunted. There is a game played on road trips, which is we're going through the suburbs, spot the haunted house, and your basement, that's the first one that I'm going to go for, is the haunted house. So, if the first 3 floors are blocked, I guess it's time to go to the mystery 4th floor that's just now appeared. Bet that has a lot more significance in Japanese, where 4 is considered an unlucky number. Because, one of the pronunciations for the number 4 is shi, which is death. I don't know how that would come about as a contrivance in the language, but it did. Oh, that's great. That door just locked behind us. Someone saw us do this. I also like how the camera is gently swaying at this point. Like, yeah, the game designers knew what they were doing. Oh yeah, there we go. So, these are the nurses, which are like a staple enemy in the Silent Hill series. But, unlike every other Silent Hill game, the medical staff in this one, I am going to pause that a moment. Just gonna drop you down there. There we go. The medical staff in this game have weird, like, parasitic leeches attached to their backs, which has a degree of symbolism to it. So that's why they do that. But it is something that essentially never comes up ever again in any Silent Hill game. They briefly touch on it in, like, one area of Silent Hill 4, but that's the bad one. so nobody really pays attention to it. That's the at least it's not homecoming one. I feel like you'll notice that when we go through certain later additions to the series, notably Downpour, where you go, yeah, that was kind of stupid, at least it's not homecoming. Also, as an added bonus, the parasites on the medical staff, they have... Basically, they're a video game weak point. If you are able to attack them with a very specific weapon, which I believe we can just go and get right now. If you attack them with that weapon, they just fall down in one. It just has a bit of a wind-up to get there. And I will also say, like, a surprising amount of effort has gone into the design for the nurse enemies. So the color of their uniform indicates how much health they have. Like, the blue one went down fairly easily compared to the green one. But there's also 3 different, like, hair and face styles for each nurse. And, like, that's pretty cool, because you're not going to see that on this tiny, crunchy little texture. Also, that is amazing news. Your dad should take that test. I'm sure he'll ace it, because he's had 20 years of prep time. Or so you would think. I mean, I think I did it right in my exams, and I had studied on the train ride up there. Can I just go to the basement and get that thing? Yes? Yes, hi! Sup? Maybe I'll take the good weapon. Maybe I'll take the good weapon. That is not the good weapon, Andy. There you go. Pretty sure that's the wrong door. That's the stairs. It's wild how I remember where this is. Because, like, hang on. There we go. So this fire hammer is absolutely fantastic, especially in this area. You can't move when you have it equipped. But essentially, it's really easy to take down the nurses, and you get that unique animation where they try to claw at the parasite that's on their back, and they only do that if you take them down, I think with a melee weapon, but specifically the hammer. That's a bad time. Let's not do that. Let's go back to guns. America, land of the guns. I think I've told this story, actually. When I visited my friends in North Carolina, they're like, hey, what is the most American thing we can do? Let's go to Dick's. Let's just give him some guns. And they did. We went up to the firearms counter, and my friend's like, hey, we're looking for I think he described it as something that would be good for the zombie apocalypse. Something with good stopping power for the head and body. And the guy just handed me this massive revolver, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of terrified of this. Not a fan. And, fun fact, that's like the first and only time I've handled a firearm, because that's kind of the voice that I use. I don't like holding this. Very manly. Right, I think I am gonna do something. Okay, I thought the game had either crashed or it was loading something. No, it was just dropping out the soundtrack. That's fine. Oh yeah! Check that out. There's male medical staff in this game. I think it's the only Silent Hill game that has those. It is the only Silent Hill game that has those. How's that? And, like, fair enough, because the design that is established in Silent Hill 2 is, like, that's the go-to example for a Silent Hill enemy, the Bubbleheads. But, like, they hadn't quite worked out what the series was yet. Not fully. So yeah, we get experimental stuff like that. Just doctors in this game. Cool. Anything in here? No? Okay. Oh, it's pretty cool that you're a dual citizen. I want to say that I didn't know that, because I'm usually pretty good at, like, remembering stuff about my friends. But yeah, no, listen to the wife. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. See, you have to if someone does that. That's the law. I wonder how many more times in this game I'm just going to accidentally turn the light off when I exit out of a menu. Ooh, a sound is coming from beyond the door. I wonder what that could be. Pretty sure everyone knows what that is at this point. It's a fairly old game and everyone really enjoyed it basically as soon as it came out. So, like, you know. Actually, there's a point. I remember when this came out, like, OPM, Official PlayStation Magazine, was like, is this the scariest game of all time? You're gonna pee your pants, and then your pee is gonna pee its pants? That's what this game is. And, they were right. To be fair, me making a scary game not scary, part of that is you're supposed to be doing this on your own, in the dark. Alone in the dark, one might say. But, like, having somebody talking over it and being like, oh yeah, let me tell you about PlayStation Magazine and make stupid jokes, that kind of ruins the tension somewhat. But, 2? Make that 2? 2 times I have creased up in this game. You can get drinks out of the vending machine. Nice. I will take those. I'm glad it makes it fun. And I know that there's different ways of doing that. Like, I remember when... A fun memory I have of visiting some of my friends in America was around the time that PT came out. And that game is an enigma, but also incredibly scary. And I remember that everyone in... It's locked. I remember that everyone in the room playing it basically all jumped at the same time at the same things. And even though we were kind of scared at what was going on, it was a lot of fun. And then we had to solve the puzzle of, like, finding that photograph. That wasn't fun. And then PT just ceased to exist, and that definitely wasn't fun. Right, I am completely lost. Welcome to Map Quest. That's gonna be the next stream name. Welcome to Map Quest. I think I'm gonna keep playing, keep exploring. When I find the next save point, we're gonna call it. And I say that as kind of a hangover from something I do in my personal life when I'm chatting with people, because I will just be on the phone with you for like hours on end if I'm allowed to be, and I'll be like, okay, I am going to go to bed in 10 minutes, because then it's out there and it's official and I can't just stay awake all night and be dead tired at work. So there we go. I see, when you visit, I'm gonna drag you into doing this with me. We're gonna find something cool in 2-player, and we're just gonna do that. How's that? In fairness, Mew, that one doesn't count. In fairness, Mew, I am exactly the same. I will, before I go to bed, oh, that reminds me, let's just catalog every thought I've ever had together, you know? Oh, that could just be my brain automatically doing that when I lie down to go to sleep anyway. Something's going off in my left ear. It is another nurse. Where are you? You do force me to go to bed. I'm just exposed on stream once again. Thanks for that. Oh, I remember this. This is another enemy that basically shows up one other time in Silent Hill and then never again. If we get too close to these leech things, we just die. And I haven't saved for a while, so let's not demonstrate that. Let's instead use the blood pack. Let's throw it over there as bait. I believe it will still kill us if we try and interact with it or get too close to it. So let's not, and let's just run away. Problem solved. Hopefully in the good way, and not like that. You know, I've only just got started doing this, and then it's just over before it begins. Let's not do that. Speaking of, hey, how's it going? At the start of this stream, I needed like 5 follows to be able to qualify for affiliate, and I have said before, and I mean it, I don't do this to get follows, or like, I'm not gonna make a career out of this. I'm just having fun. It'd be pretty cool if I had some goofy emotes. So like, let's see if we can get that going. Oh, hang on. I know what this is. I'm gonna get my notepad. Content warning, self-harm for like the next 20 seconds. That is also in my head. So clouds over a hill, the sky on the sunny day, tangerines that are bitter, a lucky four-leaf clover, violets in the garden, dandelions along a path, unavoidable sleeping time, and this delightful sentence. Content warning ends. Hello. Please come back. So those right there relate to this mysterious locking mechanism over here. So you'll notice that it talked about clouds over a hill, and there's a grey square up there, and bitter tangerines, and there's an orange one there. You may also notice that we picked up these plates. Just gonna slam back a medicine drink there. You may also have noticed we picked up these plates as we were going around. We have the Queen, the Hatter, the Turtle, and the Cat. Which, incidentally, is also another storybook reference. That is Alice in Wonderland / Alice Through the Looking Glass. Which, again, is a character transported into another mystical world of nonsense. How about that? What's this one? This one is yellow, which is down here. So what we have to do is head into the inventory, use these guys, and put them in the right slots. Which is why I went kind of quiet just now, because I was very quickly writing down the colors. Green is you. And there we go. You can take those plates out if you put them in the wrong places, but I don't know. I think it's a fairly easy puzzle. Weirdly, I don't know what that one was in Japanese. Like, I pay a lot of attention to regional variations in games, and I know that the bird poem, I believe, actually did rhyme in Japanese, whereas in this one it was more of a story than anything else. But I don't know what the colour puzzle was. I wonder if it was the song Tulips. That's the only thing I can really think of. These guys take a lot more damage than I remember them taking. Okay, I also remember the basement storeroom being like a thing in this game, and there's quite a bit of plot and stuff down there, so what I'm going to do is hopefully be able to find a save point between now and then we'll be good to go. Come back next time and potentially finish the game, actually, because... Oh, hi! There's just a nurse watching me steal her stuff. Bye! That's fine. I've heard about such things. I don't know if that's just the way of the finish. Like, you go jump in a sauna, then jump in the snow. Or is it the other way around? The only, like, finish stereotype I know is one that you have taught to me, and that is staying all the way away from the other Finnish people. Social distancing, we stay 2 miles apart at all times. Forget you. Yes, the sauna. Definitely the sauna. Save points do not appear to be indicated on this map. That's grand. Let's keep going till we find one. Maybe we'll go to the basement right now. This slightly longer stream, I guess. I'm like looking over at my notes over here, and I'm like, well, I have 2 notes, one each for the doctors and nurses, and now I'm out. So, like, yep. Which door? I mean, in fairness, I can appreciate that, because social distancing was kind of a blessing, because, yes, please do not get close to me, even when we're not doing all of this. I like my space, please, and thank you. Aha! I knew there was a save point around here. Okay. I am going to save, and then we're going to come back next time and find out what terrible things lurk in the basement, and do all of that. No, don't overwrite, because you're also graded on how many times you saved the game. I'm gonna do that thing Mew said, where I'm just gonna keep picking up tangents and keep running along with them. So let's completely dissolve all tension from the room and go to my end screen. Are you ready? Yeah! Let's raid someone. Who is playing Silent Hill right now? I don't know. Twitch? Come on. Me! I see this person right here. 5... Oh, Parker86, I'm so sorry you came in to say goodbye, but thank you for coming in. The next stream will be at 6 p.m. GMT on Wednesday. We're going to be doing Bloodstained. Bonus stream Thursday. We're going to look at a particular racing game that's getting a particularly big update. And a game called Dragon Cafe on Friday. So, you know, stick around. We have some pretty cool things coming up. I am going to raid into this person right here. I know nothing about them beyond they are currently playing Silent Hill. So, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. I don't have a raid message, so just say hello and make some noise, because we all love that kind of thing as creators. So, let's do a bit of that. And until next time, goodbye!